If you're obsessed with somebody because they rejected you and you made a fantasy about him, it's less about how to change that and more about how to heal that. Our brain plays fucking tricks on us, and oftentimes the people that we get hung up on are the ones that are the unhealthiest for us because it triggers your nervous system. It makes your anxiety and your body go into fight or flight. And if you grew up with anxious attachment style or in a home where love was, not consistent, there was a give and take, both of your caregivers weren't consistent and weren't there to give you the love that you needed as a child, you will then grow up with this view on men, and that is where you operate from. So the first thing to recognize is that the little you is the one running the show right now. If you're obsessed over somebody because they rejected you, that is because they reinstated the narrative in you of you are not good enough, you are not worthy. They reaffirmed all of those core beliefs that you have. Thus, you are trying to change their minds even more by going after them. That coupled with the fact that you have completely projected the idea of who he is onto him. This guy is not that fucking great. You put him on a pedestal that he could very quickly get off if you really saw this person as a normal person and not a project and somebody that you need to convince to validate you and your worth. So instead of doing all of that, it's really about asking your questions to yourself, like, where did I learn this? Where did I learn that love is conditional, that I have to run after somebody, that love is a chase, that I am not worthy, I am not good enough? Start really understanding that. And it really comes down to like the inner child work. I connect with my inner child like twice a week. I meditate with her and I talk to her because it's about reparenting and understanding where the emotional age of your inner child is coming from, because that is the emotional age of the person right now that you are coming from. You're still living in that space and you are reacting from that versus responding from the adult space that you are in currently. That's why I say anxious attachment style will trick your brain into thinking things about somebody else. But what it actually is it just about reparenting, doing the work on yourself. I do have an entire podcast episode on Do the Work podcast of what doing the work actually means. And I think, you know what? We're going to talk about inner child shit next, because really at the end of the day, until you reparent that and start to get down to the core root of the issues, that shit ain't changing.